Hello, everyone. We can see people joining in, so we'll wait for a couple of minutes before we get started. We are right on time, so we'll wait for one more minute before we get started. Anshul, please keep a watch on people joining in.
So we are waiting for more people.
Well, I think we can kick it off. Anshul, you can start sharing. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining in. My name is Manish Walia, and I will be your host for today's session on IBM I Modernization with Rocket Software Modernization Kit. So as we all know that, the insurance industry is at the turning point today, and policyholders now expect the same convenience that they get from retail or banking or any other industry. They are expecting the instant quotes, online claims, easy renewals, and real-time tracking. And that is not all. With AI and large language model entering into the industry, insurers want to deliver smarter and more personalized experiences, whether it is AI-powered chatbot or claim support or fraud detection or tailored policy recommendations. Now, the challenge is that most of these processes still live on IBM I green screens and other legacy systems that are reliable, but they are not designed for the self-service or AI integration. So the question is, how do insurers deliver the digital and AI ready experiences without disrupting the systems that they rely on? Now, with that, that is what we are going to explore today. And with that, I take this opportunity to introduce our panelists. Jeroen Van Daan, he is our senior manager, product management at Rocket Software. He is responsible for IBM I solutions that Rocket offers. He is also our IBM I champion in the sense that he works with businesses day in and day out in helping resolve their industry challenges. Together with Yuran, we have Harpreet Singh. He is our technical modernization expert at Oryx Labs, managing our Center of Excellence for IBM. He has been instrumental in helping insurers unlock IBM for self-service, API enablement, and AI readiness. And it amazes me to know and quote that he is keeping an IBM I server in his personal office. So a very warm welcome to all of you and to our audience for taking time out. And I would request all our audience to please feel free to post your queries in Q&A, and we'll take them towards the end of the conversation. With that, I open the questions, and the first question, Iran, is to you. Let's start with the big picture. Why is self-service such a critical priority to insurers right now?
First of all, thank you, Manish, for having me today. And what a great question to kick things off. Well, digital transformation in general is reshaping customer expectations across industries. Like you said, from banking to retail to healthcare, organizations must prioritize seamless, intuitive digital experiences to stay competitive. And insurance, obviously, is no exception. Today's consumers increasingly prefer self service options. There is some research that shows that 67% now favor digital self service portals over speaking with a company representative. And this shift is especially evident in claims processing. The share of claims handled virtually via mobile apps and automated digital workflows has increased from single digits to 55% in just a few years. And that momentum continues. The same research that I just referenced shows that 81% of consumers expect even more self service options in the future, underscoring that broader demand for convenience, speed, and control.
Right. And thank you, Ron. This is a great insight, but can you also tell me why the urgency?
Yeah, sure, Manish. I mean, considering the fact that 57% of customers will abandon a brand after only one or two negative interactions, you really want to get that self-service experience right. The challenge is that more than half of the businesses believe their customers are very satisfied with their current self-service offerings. But in reality, only 15% of their customers agree because they expect way more. And this leads to frustrated customers, resulting in lower conversion rates, lower retention rates, all of which impact the bottom line of the company. And we see this happening today. Companies that are high digital adopters, so companies that can keep up with those self-service and digital experiences their customers expect, tend to grow faster, as in double digits, than those that are low adopters. So that is why insurers are making self-service a top priority today.
Right. So can you also share, why do some companies adopt faster than the others?
Yeah, why are some of them have double-digit growth and others don't? Well, the high digital adopters I just mentioned are typically insurtech startups. And these startups are disrupting the marketplace with digital-first, user-centric services. They are offering that digital experience those customers expect. And the incumbents struggle to keep up with that pace because of their IT infrastructure. The majority of insurance companies still depend on legacy systems for core functions. And many of them run their core business applications on IBM, for example. And as you might know, there's a skills challenge in the IBM space. Employees that are knowledgeable are retiring, and that impacts the company's ability to execute on these strategic initiatives and deliver these self-service capabilities they need to compete with these insurtech startups.
Right. Now, since you mentioned self-service capabilities, that bring me to the next question, Iran. That how can insurers deliver modern self-service while continuing to use the legacy platforms?
Right. Yeah. So the legacy platform doesn't have to be, an impediment to compete with those insurtech startups, because that's exactly where Rocket's continuous modernization kit helps. The Rocket Continuous Modernization Kit is a continuous modernization platform designed to extend legacy systems like the IBM or the IBM into the digital era and fast. And it focuses on three pillars. So the first one is insights. Insights is a component that provides visibility into the usage of the IBM application in the organization, so insurers know where to modernize first. The second component of the continuous modernization kit is modern experience, or MX as we call it. So MX modernizes green screens into web or mobile interfaces, turning an agent screen into a single pane of glass that has all the information the agent needs to deliver that great customer experience. And the third and last component in the continuous modernization kit is API. So API unlocks IBM business logic as APIs, APIs that can power online quotes, renewals, or claims in customer-facing apps. And the beauty is you choose, right? So you can use the continuous modernization kit to build APIs, to modernize your UI, or to both. But once you've done that, you have to stop, review what has been created, and then set up these tools to consistently monitor your workflows and processes from that point on, so that when you return in 3 months, 6 months, or a year, you can determine what other items require modernization. Right? It's really continuous, and they can use these anytime to make sure your I or Z applications are performing at top level. So summarizing, Rocket's continuous modernization kit provides a modernization platform that is incremental, safe, and non-disruptive.
Makes sense. And Harpreet, would you like to add anything to that?
I see Harpreet is muted. You're muted, Harpreet.
Uh,
1 second, I'm muting myself. Yeah, Manish, I would like to add that this approach that we're talking about, we don't have to change the backend systems that insurance rely on. Those IBM applications, policy, claims, and billings remain stable and continue to run as they always have. So what we do instead is expose the business logic through APIs, which lets us build a modern self-service experience outside the legacy systems, whether that's for portal, mobile app, or AI-based assistance. And because this is incremental modernization, the business decides the priority, maybe claims intake today or renewal the next quarter and ratings later. It's modernization that happens at your pace without disrupting what's already working. So using the CM API, the APIs can be created within hours and not days, which can be used right away by exposing those to internally based applications or third-party systems.
that's right, Harpreet. So, since you mentioned APIs and implementing the modernization kit, my question to you from an implementation standpoint, how do you help insurers translate CM kit into real business outcomes?
So Manish, as you know, Ron has already talked about the three pillars. So we begin with the CM insights, helping insurers see which applications or workflows like claims or policy renewals will benefit most from modernization. Process insights tracks how organizations engage with the data and the business logic on their IBMI or the legacy systems. So what is happening is here a report is getting generated in the form of a heat map that grants a complete view of most widely used components of the system or the workflows of the systems. So you can create a prioritized list of modernization projects like user experience, application integration, and automation is based on what would provide the most value to the customers. So prioritizing the data is not gut driven, but this is driven by the data. So based on that, the process insights components is available with both Rocket API and the modern experience, which converts the green screens into more modern web-based or mobile-based front ends. It's easier to move from analysis to execution and can be centrally managed within the same portal. So typically, again, we begin with the CM API exposing rating engines, say, for example, or claims logic or billing processes as APIs, and they can power a self-service portal for end customers. And then finally, we can use the modern experience or CMMX, as we call it, to create modern web-based interfaces. Now, because we follow a phased approach, insurance get results quickly without risking their core legacy system or IBMI backend processing. And it's a step-by-step modernization that delivers clear business value and faster.
Great. No, I think it is great to understand the aspects of CMKit API and modern experience. Now, next question is to you, Yaron. When do you see the companies apply or use modern experience?
All right. So, well, like Harpreet said, API is often the solution of choice, right? Creating those APIs and automation is key to be able to quickly deliver those competitive self-service options to customers. But self-service on its own is only effective up to a certain level. Customers with edge or specific cases that cannot be handled through self-service will want to speak to a human at some point and will contact the call or contact center, right? And as a result of that, the questions that must be handled by the people in the contact center will be more difficult to answer than before. And remember, customers will abandon a brand after only one or two negative interactions. So the fact customers have to call your contact center really is strike two. So you want to make sure your contact center reps have the right tools, the right information in front of them, so then they can provide the answer the customer is looking for.
Yeah, and so we would use the modern experience to create a single pane of glass using the insights from the process insights to optimize the workflow and rather than resolve the swivel chair problems where reps would need to use multiple windows or sessions. We resolve it by giving them all the information into a single pane of glass. So typically we see reduction in training time, churn out, and the average call time handling reduces because of this. And because the people in the contact center or the support center have everything they need to answer complex questions, we see the customer satisfaction rate also go up at the same time.
Right. And really good to understand, how CMKit is helping improve customer satisfaction rate. I would really at this point like to know, from you, can you share some of the insurance use cases where CMKit has made a clear difference?
Absolutely, Manish. I think a few examples that come to mind. I mean, the first one, I think this is relates to everyone, is instant quotes. And this use case is related to the statistic I mentioned before. The one where I said that more than half of the businesses believe that their customers are very satisfied with their current self-service offerings, but their customers kind of disagree. So we were talking to this one insurer that implemented their self-service quote generation using a message queue and batch processing. So yes, the customer can generate a quote, but it takes at least a day, right? So and that's a good example of the expectation gap I just mentioned. Because with CMKit, after applying the CMKit, now they have their IBM rating engine exposed through APIs, and customers can generate quotes online in seconds instead of days, right? Which is very good from a competitive point of view. Another use case I see is digital claims reporting. In the beginning of our conversation, I mentioned that the share of claims handled virtually via mobile apps has increased from single digits to 55% in just a few years. So claims workflows are modernized into a mobile app in which policyholders can upload accident details, right? So if you're in an accident, you just take your phone, you take pictures of the thing, and you just upload them to your insurer. And then you can use that phone to track the claims digitally. And that is on the front end, so that's the user experience. But CMKit also helped in the back end, right? Our automation engine also improved the auto adjudication rate for those claims, making the whole process a lot faster. And the last use case, that I would like to mention that comes to mind is seamless renewals, right? So we talked about InsurTech, how that's competitive. So it's you want to keep your customers. So insurers are enabling policyholders to renew online via modern UIs, and thereby reducing the call center load and improving those retention numbers. So those are the three, most used use cases I see in the insurance industry.
So great insights on sharing the outcome of these use cases. Harpreet, next question to you is from technical side. How do you make these use cases work without disruption for the customers?
So Manish, the first thing that we need to understand that the CM kit keeps the IBM logic intact. So everything is happening outside of the I series. For example, the rating engine still runs on IBM I, but CM API exposes its safely for the REST services. So we build self-service portal or apps on top of existing systems using a Rocket solution. So the customer gets a modern experience, but the insurance keep their backend systems reliable and undisturbed. The beauty is you can run both in parallel, green screens for internal staff and the digital platforms for customers, all powered by the same backend systems. So, the core jobs that run on the IBM as a batch processing or others keep running in parallel. New UIs and API run outside of the system, but in parallel, speaking directly to the AS400. Rollouts are phased, the dev test or pilot, and then production, and you can follow any approach that you want to. Minimal training is required because the core workflow remains the same. And you can start small, focusing on the most critical business areas first while steadily improving the customer experience.
Makes sense. Well, that makes sense. And the same question to you, but from a business standpoint.
Yeah, well, Manish, that's indeed the number one concern for the business, right? So, will these initiatives disrupt my business while we implement those initiatives, or will there be any impact to the productivity of my employees? And the answer is that the continuous modernization kit was designed to be non-disruptive, right? It was built for coexistence, so not rip and replace. And like Harpreet said, you can run both old and new in parallel. So your employees can use the solution they like most, in which they are the most productive. So green screens for the power users that know the system by heart, have been working on these systems for decades. I don't know. And then modern UIs for people that are new to the organization. And then, of course, the digital portals for your customers. But all of these are powered by the same backend. So there's no reason to be afraid for any disruption.
Correct, correct. And Harpreet, how does that play out in the real modernization programs?
Well, Manish, the CM kit, your jobs keep running while the new APIs or self-service portals are layered in around them. There's no disruption to your day-to-day operations. Your batch jobs and processing and functions keep running as is. So this approach gives insurers the freedom to modernize step by step based on the business priorities. And we talked about the CM insights, which gives them the heat map. Whether that's claims or renewal or policy servicing, which is, again, business has to decide, while keeping the reliability of their IBM I or the legacy systems intact. So this is not a big bang replacement. It's an evolution at your pace, or in other words, we can say that modernization at your pace.
Well, I love the phrase modernization at your pace because it gives customer the peace of mind that they require. Uh, and with that, next question to you. In a crowded landscape, what makes CM Kit different for the insurers?
Yeah, a good question, Manish. It is a crowded landscape. There's a lot of choice when it comes to
Yeah,
modernization tools, and many tools only address one piece of the puzzle. So maybe there's a tool for creating APIs, and there's a tool for UI refacing. But these tools are typically point solutions. And I believe the continuous modernization kit is unique because it's a comprehensive suite. It's a modernization platform which provides, like Harpreet already said, insights for visibility. That's unique, and you can use those insights. You can leverage those to implement workflow improvements using modern experience. To deliver that new UI for the people that are new to the organization, or you can use those insights to jumpstart API generation for integration or for those self-service portals. And the whole CM kit is non-disruptive, right? So Like Harpreet said, insurers can modernize step by step, keeping the IBMI stability while delivering those digital self-service options that customers are asking for.
Well, yeah, great insights. We have talked about self-service and APIs. Now let's shift gears. AI and large language models are hot topics in insurance today. How do you think modernization on IBM I with CM-Kit prepare insurers to take advantage of AI?
Well, AI is indeed top of mind in every vertical, every industry, and certainly in insurance. And in insurance, we see that it's transforming the industry across nearly every aspect of the value chain, right? So, we see AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants that provide 24/7 support and can answer claim or policy queries in real time using live IBMI data. Fraud detection, risk scoring models that help insurers evaluate risk more accurately by analyzing, large volumes of structured and unstructured data that resides on the IBMI. And then also a use case where AI plays a significant role is personalized policy recommendations, based on customer profiles and behavioral patterns that enables insurers to offer usage-based and behavior-based insurance models. But for all those use cases I just mentioned, it is the API creation capability in the continuous modernization kit that plays a pivotal role here. Right, Harpreet?
Absolutely, you're spot on this, Iran. And the reality is that AI is only as good as the data it can access. The LLMs, don't have the domain-specific knowledge, and right now a lot of that valuable policy and claims and billing data is sitting inside, locked inside IBMI. So what CM-Kit is doing is it is unlocking the data safely using the APIs. So CM-Kit is playing a critical role here. The CM Insight gives insurers clear map of what applications and the data exists in their IBMI landscapes. So they know exactly what can be leveraged. And then the API on top of that securely exposes the data in a structured, governed way, making it available to the modern analytics or the AI platforms without disrupting the backend systems. So the insurers don't just modernize the self-service, they also lay the foundation for AI adoption.
Right, right. Yeah, thanks, Harpreet. Yeah, that's right. And then modern experience can then be used to provide the modern UI that delivers AI-driven insights directly to agents or customers by integrating with, those AI-powered chatbots or virtual assistants.
Right. So, Harpreet, one thing I would like to understand from your customer conversations, are the insurers really asking for this level of AI integration?
Definitely, Manish. Insurance know, in fact, we all know that AI is the future, but they don't know that they can get there. Um, Let me rephrase my words. But they also know that they can get there if their core policy and claims system is stuck in silos. They cannot get there. What they like about CM-Kit is that it gives them a practical and low risk way to open IBM. So when they are ready to bring AI or LLM-based tools, the groundwork is already done. So while the CM-Kit is not the AI itself, it's a bridge that makes IBM data AI ready. It enables insurers to adapt AI or adopt it into their own workspace, while the confidence of the core system remains stable and secure.
Yeah, that's right. So I think the message that both of you are sharing, it is clear that, by modernizing with continuous modernization kit, insurers aren't just improving today's customer experience, but they are also preparing for tomorrow's AI-driven industry as Rocket API gets all the data at your fingertips. Harpreet, where do you see IBM I modernization in insurance heading?
Manish, we're looking at two big trends in this. The cloud integration being one, the APIs connecting IBM I workloads directly into the hybrid or multi-cloud ecosystems, and AI and analytics based future unlocking IBM I data for predictive risk models, fraud detection, and personalized policy offerings. So the exciting part with the CM kit, insurance can start small, exposing data and processes and build towards these future capabilities.
Yeah, indeed, and that's right. And if I may add to that, Harpreet, from the business side, the trend is clear, right? So insurers want continuous modernization, not big bang migrations. They want incremental steps, each delivering visible business value, making sure that they can keep up with the expectations of their employees, customers, and partners.
That is right. I think with that, we come to the end of our question answers, end of our conversations. But I can see that some of our audiences posted the questions in the chat box. Let's take the questions. The first one that I see is how long does it typically take to create the API? Harpreet or whoever want to answer this.
I'll take that, Nisha. And that's actually one of the things the customer really appreciate about CM Kit. The APIs can be created very quickly, and I can vouch for it. Not over weeks or months, but maybe in a few hours. A more complex one, maybe taking a little bit longer. Since we are not rebuilding anything, just exposing what's already exists on IBM I, a simple API, say for policy lookup or claim status check, can often be up and running within a few hours. So it's really about identifying the right program, mapping it, and making it securely available through the CM Kit. Once it is ready, it can be connected to your self-service portal or mobile app right away. So if we're dealing with, of course, a large, more complex workflows that might take a bit longer to coordinate and complete it and test it. But we are still talking about days and not weeks. And that, with that speed, which makes this approach so powerful.
Right, Harpreet. And we talked about the API, but there's also one question that I can see on the chat book, on the Q&A. Someone is asking how long it typically takes to get to a solution.
Wrong.
Sorry. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so well, the beauty of the continuous modernization kit is that you don't have to wait for a massive transformation program to see results. We're not ripping and replacing anything, so the timeline is much faster. Like for a focused use case, like the one that Harpreet just highlighted, like exposing a specific policy or claims function to an API, we can deliver a working solution, so a whole solution in weeks and not months. For broader modernization projects, so where you have used insights and you've built your prioritized list where multiple workflows are to be modernized, we take a phased approach. So even then, with a huge backlog, value is still being delivered incrementally. So this means that insurers will start seeing business impact, whether that's reduced call volumes, faster claim processing, or better custom experience ratings very early in the journey. And then they can scale up from there, right? So it's really fast to deliver results.
The next question is this an RPA solution?
I'll take that, Ron.
Okay. Please.
Thanks, Ron. We've already talked about that. CMKit is an API-driven modernization platform, and it allows insurers to securely unlock their IBM business logic and data. So, enabling self-service digital channels and AI readiness. So, unlike an RPA, which automates tasks by simulating what humans do on the screen, CMKit works at the core of the system. It connects directly to the business logic and data. So you can build a modern web application and experience and give a mobile platform as well, and the user can experience that. Seamlessly, we can integrate with the cloud and analytics platform, scale to the next steps of modernization step by step without disrupting existing operations. So RPA sometimes can be useful for task automation, but CMKit provides more strategic, scalable, and how should I say it, future-proof way to modernize IBM I systems.
Right. Thank you, Pete. One last question that we have, would it not be better to have a strategic approach than RPA?
I'll take that one as well because I'm already talking about RPA. So, Manish, that's exactly the right way to think about RPA. RPA can help with short-term task automation, but it doesn't actually modernize the system. It just works on top of it. A strategic modernization approach with the CMKit focuses on unlocking the core business logic and data through API. That means insurers can build future-ready digital experience and not just patch old ones. And they can scale easily as the business priorities evolve. They're also, it helps in preparing the IBM I environment for AI, analytics, and cloud integration, something that RPA alone can't do. So yes, while RPA might be tactical, CMKit gives you a long-term modernization foundation that creates real business agility and definitely will provide a competitive advantage.
Well, thank you. And I do not see any other questions on Q&A. A big thank you, Harpreet and Yaron, for providing your insights on Rocket Continuous Modernization Kit and patiently answering all the questions. And thank you to our wonderful audience for taking time out. We'll be sharing the presentation deck and the recording after this call. If you would like a custom demo, please reach out to us on the demo recording emailers that we'll send out. Thank you once again to our panelists and to our audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manish.
Thank you for having me.